The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Pocono 150 at the crossroads of Long Pond and Andretti Roads here at Pocono Raceway. This is round 18 of the Premier Racing League American Pool Supply Truck Series, and you're going to get to see all 60 laps unfold live here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Hi, I'm Sean Ambrose, and alongside me in the booth tonight is Dawson Never Say Die Brock. Behind the scenes, we have our director Joe Peak twisting and tweaking the dials tonight, and our camera sets, as always, are provided by the much sought after Dougie Beard. Dawson, Jeff Ward with a big win last week at Mossport in the trucks on the road course, but we straightened things back out a little bit this week, and we go to a track that's pretty unique itself with 3 turns. Did I say that right? 3. Or is it 6? Or is it 9? I'm not sure. I'll let you tell the fans a little bit about Pocono Raceway.
Thanks, Sean. This track, also known as the Tricky Triangle, located in the Pocono Mountains. It's about 2.5 miles long, and yes, that's right, 3 turns. It's very awkward and nothing much like it. It's very bumpy with long straightaways that are great for passing. It should have put on a great show tonight. Let's take a quick look at Pocono and take a ride in the GSRC lap guide.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek. This is the Pocono Raceway and the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck. So Pocono is a very, very unique course. 3 turns, and all of them are just different enough from the last. So without further ado, here we go around Pocono. Down the extremely long front stretch that is long enough to land a plane on and about 7 cars wide. Down into turn 1, you're going to kind of float the middle here. Try to split those seams, and then right in the middle of the corner, turn down and aim for those basically rumble strips down there at the bottom of the corner. Exit up there by the yellow sign on the wall. And keep on footing down the Long Pond straightaway, setting up turn 2. Turn 2 is based off of Indianapolis, so you're going to really want to enter easy into the corner and not overdrive it, because that will just destroy any kind of runoff that you can get out of turn 2. Turn 3, down here, floating it to the bottom. Let it find the rumble strips once again. Let it corner, back into the gas. Kind of aim for that sign on the wall, but don't hit it. Back out of turn 3, down this very long front straightaway again. Now, as the run progresses, you might see guys move around on the track a little bit. They might experiment with a higher lane in turn 1. I've kind of found in my personal experience, not really a big benefactor, so what you might see guys do here is more float the middle, not go straight down, but maybe run about a lane off the bottom, back up out of the corner, down the Long Pond straightaway once again, named because Long Pond, Pennsylvania is directly outside of that straightaway, down into turn 2, don't overdrive it, let it float through the middle, gas it up, watch the little bit loose on exit. If you get back into the throttle too much over at the end of the run, you'll want to spin out of there. Turn 3 is unique because you might see guys run up here in this darker section of track. Really helps you rotate through the middle, so you do give up a little bit through the middle of the corner, but watch out on exit. It can get tricky and loose. Back across the line, that completes our track guide around the Pocono Raceway in the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
That is a little bit of a ride around Pocono Raceway here in the beautiful Pocono Mountains. Very beautiful area of the country up here in Pennsylvania. You ever get a chance to get up there, it's a great place to vacation. It's a great place to see a race too. I think Pocono holds just over 72,000 people, so plenty of places to watch the track from. And you modified fans out there may remember back in the 70s, they actually ran some modified races at Pocono, which was very interesting, to say the least. Now, Dawson has some very, very important information about us for us about the season point standings. And Dawson, I'm going to let you take that over. Run us through that real quick.
Yeah, so the points haven't really shaken up since last race. Your race winner at Mossport was Jeff Ward, but due to his late start, hasn't been able to crack the top 10, as you see here. Brian Yazek's still on top. James Krahula in second. He just cut a little bit into that lead, but not quite enough. It should be interesting to see how that ends up. Tyler Dalton, Rick Thompson, and Jeff Gow, I think that's your closer battle right there. 2 points between Rick and Jeff. We'll have to watch and see how that all unfolds tonight. Tim Johnston right behind him. Then you have Travis McQuiston, Brad Collins, Don Runkle Jr., and Norm Pelletier to round out the top 10.
All right, and definitely a good battle there. You saw there Johnston, Gow, Thompson. They're all knotted up there, and that is the three of them just sitting outside the top three. And they've got a chance to get there. This is only round 18. We've still got a ways to go here in the season. Now, qualifying is started. Got about 7.5 minutes left at that. Let's talk about what we're doing on track here for this series tonight here in the American Pool Supplies Truck Series. It is a fixed setup. Now, they're running the Pocono fixed setup this evening. They're starting off as they just a few weeks ago decided they were going to start experimenting with a couple things for 2018, and one of those things included going to a 20% track starting state. What does that mean? Well, basically that means the track here in iRacing, we set how much wear is actually on the track. So what we're simulating is that the track has been used about 20%, let's say of a full race weekend, we're starting at about 20%. So a little bit of rubber on the track, a little bit of wear out there, some marbles to deal with, but not much. So that should work to be pretty good. Dawson, what does the weather look like today? Because I know that should factor into how long these tires are going to wear.
Yeah, so the weather tonight, air temp is a pretty comfortable 76 degrees. Luckily, we get to sit in an air-conditioned booth. But that sun, it's not many clouds in the sky. 106 degrees on that track. That for iRacing, that is a very hot track, and should that'll give you a little more tire wear than usual, and should make these trucks a little bit looser. Fairly high humidity also at 42%, so the air, it all just turns into a really warm environment and should create some tricky, to say the least, just tricky racing.
Yeah, now Pocono, there's, for anybody who watched the Cup race today, you know how challenging this track can be. Traditionally, a lot of drivers tend to shift in the short chute to get the power down off exit. Getting the power down, always the trick here. You don't want to spin the tires. You don't want to get the wall there like Jeff Ward almost did. Those walls come up very quick when you're coming off exit here. But running up right next to it, not a bad thing either. There can be speed to be found up there, just like Jeff Ward's doing right now, working on his second lap, provisionally sitting on the pole right now. 2 laps of qualifying here this evening, Dawson, and a lot of guys already gotten that second lap in, so nobody really wasting any time getting right after it and getting out there and getting those quali laps in. We're watching Brad Collins right now. Collins, looks like he's got that second lap in already. I think he's just finishing up now, in fact. Trying to see if there's anybody else currently back out on track, but yeah, everybody but Brian Yazik, and I think Yazik's given up on a second attempt. So, but go ahead, Dawson. What were we going to say, buddy?
Yeah, just looking at practice times, Andrew Jones put down a really nice lap at a 56.2, and he hasn't put a qualifying time down. I think he might just want to start in the back. But we'll have to see if he can work his way through the field. That should be fun to watch.
Well, I don't know that. Most people are tuning in and going, wow, 60 laps, it doesn't sound like a lot. Listen, it takes almost a minute to get around the track. 60 laps is quite a race, actually. It's not quite an endurance race, but it's close. And, sometimes the better play is to start at the back when you've got a long race on a big track like this. You know what? It is, like I said, maybe not a bad idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Andrew was just kind of trying to mess with us. He's out on track now.
Yeah, there he is.
To start his first lap, so we'll see if he can maybe take a step into that top 5. That should be fun to watch. Yeah,
nothing's settled yet. As long as there is action on the track, Fred Thompson hasn't taken one yet. Neither is John Wilco or Calvin Filarski. Norm Pelletier could be waiting, but right now, Andrew, the only one out on track, and we're going to watch that lap around. Got a little hardware to give away. hardware or software, I don't know. But we've got the NP3 Designs Pole Award coming up here in just a moment when we know that everyone is basically settled. A lot of racing here this weekend at Pocono, and boy, we'll have a lot of racing here this week. The Grand National Series runs on Tuesdays. Now we don't broadcast those races, but they'll run the Xfinity cars here Tuesday night, and then Thursday night, of course, every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here with the Patriot Fire Cup Series, and we'll look forward to that one. That should be an exciting race. Maybe a little bit bigger field. We've got 20 here. Good lap there, first time around for Andrew Jones, but it's only good enough for 12th right now. And he's going to take one more trip around, maybe try and better himself a little bit. It was a 56.6 Dawson, and right now I see the majority of the times, in fact, most of them, all 56s, only our pole sitter, Jeff Ward, found a way to get around in 55 seconds, a 55.9 for Ward.
Yeah, he's been, other than Jeff Gow, he was able to do it in practice too. Other than them two, nobody else has been able to crack that 55-second barrier. We see Andrew about to finish up his second lap. I think he's maybe you take that first lap, take it a little easy, make sure you get a time down as he comes to the line this time. And he goes slower, so that is where he will sit.
Well, I think we're going to call it. Let's go to the MP3 Designs Pole Award. Jeff Ward gets another one of those with a 55.936. Let's take a ride around, watch his trip around Pocono Raceway. Dawson, interesting raceway. Not all, that's old school. That's really old school. Not a lot of places left called a raceway. Speedways, racetrack, but raceway, not a commonly used term anymore. In fact, I was going through, and actually the hometown track here where I'm at in Riverhead, New York, is Riverhead Raceway. That track opened in 1948, so and it's had that name ever since. So like I said, a bit of a throwback. Pocono been here for a very, very long time. Management changing hands here at the end of the season for the first time in, I think, almost 60 years. So lots of interesting things going on at Pocono, but it's not going anywhere. I guess that's the point I'm getting at. It's going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's good news. It's just unique. You don't see many tracks, if any, with this triangle shape, 3 turns, and it can provide really great racing. Long straightaways. It's great for passing and outbraking in these relatively flat turns. It's a unique track, and I'm glad to hear it's going to stay.
Well, Jeff Ward throws down that major lap right there to claim the NP3 Designs Pole Award. There's victory lane. He looks to get back there, maybe 2 weeks in a row, and we'll get him there. Road course last week, had a little fun on the roadie, and now off to the oval. Now, I will tell you, when it comes to iRating, and for those of you who've not seen this before, maybe not even familiar with iRacing, iRating is that licensing system, and Jeff, well, with about a 4,000 iRating, that means he's pretty good, folks, on the oval side, and he's won a few races. So let's go to the grid, though. We are set, ready to get this race started. Jeff Ward on the pole. Tyler Dalton will start second this evening. Go to row 2. It's going to be Brian Yazik and Jeff Gow. Row 3, Jonathan Lawrence and Travis McQuistion will start 6th. Row 4, James Grewell, Derek Paulson starting 8th. And then row 5, Rick Thompson, the American Pool Supply Silverado, and Don Ruckle, Snoop Doggy Don Ruckle Jr. in the Zigzag Toyota will start 10th.
Starting 11th, Chris Scala. Andrew Jones, we saw his lap. He will be starting on the outside of Chris. Then Billy Tungate, Jeff Ryan, Brad Collins, Tommy Imasi, Calvin Filarski, Fred Thompson, Norman Pelletier, and John Wilco to round out the top 20.
And those of you are familiar with the Premier Racing League recognize the name Chris Scala. Yes, GSRC broadcaster Chris Scala is driving for Devin Cannon tonight in the 38. He is filling in for Devin. Devin couldn't make it tonight, and, well, he gave Chris the seat. So Chris in the seat of that truck tonight, and well, we'll see how he fares here at Pocono. A lot of practice put in here for a couple hours, the session leading up to qualifying, and we're getting ready to roll off here. We'll take one lap around and then set this field loose here at Pocono. Got any early favorites tonight, Dawson?
Well, Jeff Ward coming off that last win, he would kind of, and your pole sitter as well, he would kind of be your typical pick. Brian Yazik, 3 wins, I think he would be another one. But someone who was a little bit fun to watch last week, he was just not quite as fast as the main group. But I'm gonna go with Jeff Gow. I think I want to go a little not your typical. I want to see what he can do tonight in that 92 machine.
Gonna take the Canadian. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
The Canadian Invader coming down to ravage Pocono. All right, I like that pick. That's not bad. I'll keep an eye on him too. I'll tell you what, Jeff Ward's going to be hard to beat here tonight. So's Brian Yazik. That front three, honestly, Gow, a great pick. The 2 front rows could break away here real quick, leaving Lawrence, McQuistion, Krahula, and Paulson back. You got actually a couple really fast drivers mixed in here in the field back behind. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly they can work their way up to the front. They'll spread out here. In fact, I'm going to throw it out there now. Here's my prediction for the race. I don't think we're going to see a lot of cautions this evening. Practice was pretty clean. Seems everybody's got a pretty good handle here at Pocono. And I look for some great green flag racing. Pit window. We've got a full tank. 60 laps. I think we're probably looking at about 32 to 34 laps. So I think one stop will really get this done for you tonight. As we come around the last turn now, though, it's time, buddy.
Oh yeah, it's about time to get started here. Just a real quick thing, we have that mandatory caution, I believe, lap 30, or is that not?
Oh no, that would just be the halfway point at 30, okay. No caution. And the green flag is out. We are underway at the Pocono 150. Jeff Ward dragging down the front straight with Tyler Dalton. Dalton with a good jump on the top side. Can he get that truck in front of Ward and get down in front of him into one? I think he can. In fact, he does. Wow, Tyler Dalton with a great start up front. Look out on the top side. Here comes the 92 with Jeff Gow. Woo, he ran it out there on a ragged edge off exit. Gow screaming down the backstretch here into turn 2. Dalton starting to lose a little bit of ground on the inside, but he'll have the advantage going in. And on that line is right where you want to be. Watch out, here comes Jeff Ward, going to make it 3 wide.
Wow, great racing to start off here. Gow just on an unfortunate, that turn 2, it's really tough to make anything happen on that high side. Not much grip.
When you're trying to get a little bit of heat in these tires and get everything going, really, really competitive first lap's going to show Tyler Dalton.
Ooh.
Ball. Billy Tungate loses it coming off of turn 3. Going to pick this up on the replay real quick, and no yellow flag. He was back there by himself. Well, not by himself, but he slid. Man, who is that he slid off right in front of? You see him go up. He hits the end of that pit wall right there and immediately was able to get to his pit box. Did not have to tow.
Yeah, out of the racing line or the racing way, so they're going to stay green as long as he is out of the way.
Up front, Tyler Dalton leads him down the short chute into 3, trying to lead lap 2 with authority. Already got himself about a 0.3 of a second advantage on Jeff Ward. He's going to come across the line. Tyler Dalton leads the first 2 laps of this race. Boy, Dalton looking strong here early.
Travis McQuistion, he's right there on Jeff's rear bumper, the 92 and 93. Just about as close as they are number as they are on the track. Oh, boy, putting on a great show.
And McQuistion lifting the rear end of that 92 truck up just a little bit there. Very, very close. Good hard racing. Jeff Gow does a great job of hanging onto it. Look at McQuistion down there in the bottom. He's going to make it work. He's going to bring James Carula with him. Here comes the 4, the Coastal Safety Auditors, Chevrolet.
James, he's sitting in second in them points. You know he's got to at least get to Yazik and hopefully close that gap again. That's got to be his plan tonight. Just beat Brian Yazik.
Pass for the lead here. Ward working on Tyler Dalton to get to the line. Going to give it to Dalton, but Ward looking to the inside, heading down to 1. Can he make this pass here on the inside? So much speed. You're going full speed down into turn 1. Dalton, though, with a better line up towards the middle of the track.
It's a great job by Dalton, making sure you don't outbrake yourself and push wide. It's really easy to do in that turn.
Yeah, great observation, Dawson. Look what Yazik's doing. Yazik pulls out, comes around the top side of Ward, able to get by clean. Boy, Yazik with a nice run there. He made, I'll tell you what, he left Ward, made him look like he was standing still there for a second.
Yeah, I think it was just he couldn't get the run off of the corner just because you're going too wide. We'll see that a lot tonight. Going 2x2 is really going to hurt speed for both cars, and it'll be interesting to see you get a run on somebody and maybe just let them go and not lose 2 or 3 positions.
Yeah, well, look at McQuistion and Krahula. They were side by side. Krahula's going to decide, well, he thought he was going to step in line. No, he's going to drop it down on the bottom into turn 1 here. Hey, he's not quite. Oh, the truck got a little squirrely on him. Starts to slide up the track right in front of Jeff Gow. Yeah,
these guys.
Him over.
Now he's able to get that run down the backstretch, and now he's going to try and go for McQuistion, but no, not quite enough.
Dawson, is this what we're going to get? This race going to be just a series of runs at each other, isn't it?
Yeah, this just the straightaways, and these trucks, they give quite a bit of draft off of each other. It allows you to really get all bunched up, and yeah, hopefully we keep seeing this. This is fun.
Yeah, they do punch quite a big hole in the air, and that does provide some good slingshot racing. And Krahula now back there looking to set up our good friend Jeff Gow maybe again here as they come out of turn 1. Got the long back straightaway here to do it, but Krahula suffers mightily through the center of the turn and loses a lot of momentum. Let's go back up to the lead because it looks like Jeff Ward is impatient, ready to make a move. And he does it. Yazik back to the front. Got my blue trucks mixed up there in the HPP Simulation Chevrolet. Yazik gets in front of Tyler Dalton. Can Yazik come around and...
Oh, caution.
Oh, he will lead this lap because we've got a yellow Norman Pellets here. Hard hitting the wall. Come all the way back across the track in the racing line. We get our first yellow at lap 6. Let's look and see what happened to Norm. I think he just lost it, to be honest with you. Oh, yeah, a little bit too much apron. He overcorrects, and it's, hard into that safer barrier, Dawson.
Wow, good thing we have them safer barriers. Or this is just a game, or a simulation. Some people get mad when you say it that way, but yeah, them safer barriers. Wow, that was a hard hit.
Hey, I'm not going to get mad at you. Now, I can't say anything for these fans watching. They can be pretty rabid, Dawson. I'm gonna warn you. You got to be careful. So
we just got to stay on their good side. Hopefully, they'll stay happy.
Hey, if you're all right, if you're lucky, they'll start a fan club for you. So that's what you really got to work towards. Let's throw out the. It's time to see Brutus. Let's let Brutus out and let him take a run here real quick. The Coastal Safety Auditors, lucky dog, our man Brutus there, taking care of things. It's going to be Billy Tungate getting that wave around. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire, life, and safety equipment. Good dog, Brutus. Good dog. We'll probably see you again. We got off to a great start, Dawson. That was really it was a self-spin. We've not really seen any contact. We did see a couple tires get lifted off the track, but Gow was able to save it. No real big movers here in the field yet. Ward not going to be credited with leading a lap in this race, although he was the pole sitter. That last lap there at the caution, Brian Yazik had just taken it from Tyler Dalton, and now Yazik is your leader, and everybody is going to come down pit lane for a little bit of attention here, Dawson. What are you looking for here on this first stop?
Probably 4 tires. And Pocono, this bumpy race surface, it chews some tires up, and I would highly not expect anybody to go 2 tires. That would be an interesting call, but probably 4 tires and gas it up.
Well, I know you like the ovals, and I know you've got a lot of experience and probably run several races here at Pocono. With the way things have started right now, is position really important here this early in the race? Are you just looking to settle in and get a nice run?
Well, position is nice, but you got to keep your vehicle clean. These long straights, it's a lot of speed and a little crumple here and there that can really hurt you early on. So you gotta, track position is nice, but I think right now just get settled in and find your groove. Track position will come after that.
Right. And I don't think they were far enough into a run for us to say that, well, they won't need another pit stop. No, they're going to need another one here at this point to get this race done. I don't think they can run it out for 52 laps. In fact, I know they can't. I think they're only good for about 34 max in this truck here at Pocono. So, but again, we got great conditions for racing, and you can get a lot of drafting here and save a little bit of fuel. This could, as the actual Cup race today turned into, this could turn into a fuel mileage race here in the end.
Yeah. I'm trying to listen to the talk. Did you hear that? I thought I heard somebody's name be brought up there.
Yeah, they're talking about me. I'm going to mute it because it's distracting me.
Sometimes that's best.
All right, let's give you your rundown here. We're going to probably get the lights off of the pace car right here. I suspect we will.
Yep. Oh, no.
And they're still on. Okay. Let's do the rundown then. Here we go. All right. Brian Yazik is now your new leader. Takes it from Tyler Dalton there. Now, update. Jeff Ward beats Tyler Dalton out of the pit lane, so he'll go to second here to restart. So Ward will see probably be on the outside. I'm going to guess Yazik will probably take that inside spot. Tyler Dalton in third. Jeff Gow fourth. Derek Paulson sits in fifth. Travis McQuistion sixth. James Grahula back to seventh right now after the pits. Jonathan Lawrence in eighth. Andrew Jones in ninth. And Snoop Doggy Don Runkle rounds out your top 10. I see Don's got a lot of fans out there looking for him to win this evening. We didn't pick him. We didn't talk much about him, but Don can get around these ovals pretty good. He's just looking for a little bit of luck to win one of these things.
Well, Pocono, as you were just talking about it earlier, fuel mileage race, something you maybe go a little bit against the grain, go with something a little bit different, and that could be the luck he'd be looking for. So definitely this would be a great track for him to get a win at.
Do you expect to see anybody gamble with the tires this evening?
I still think you put 5 laps on them tires and you need a fresh set of 4. Now, later in the race, maybe with, like, if we get a caution and there's 2 to go when the green hits, maybe somebody tries to go with the right sides only. I would assume you'd only do the right sides. You're really using up the right rear. Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, almost like a short track. You do tend to drive this truck here at Pocono off of that right rear, don't you?
Yeah, it gives you that turn, and I don't know, that's what I saw all week running Pocono, and it's just that right rear. You either slide it and that really hurts your right rear, or you push and it's still on that right side.
Well, you definitely do throw a lot of heat to these tires here at Pocono. Those long straights, the high speed, and of course having to get off the power and get through these turns gingerly, again, throws a lot of heat to the tires. So they're going to slide around. If they get on a long run, it could get sketchy. About 15 to 20 laps into a run, we'll see. Everybody going side by side. Yazik is going to take the inside line to restart this race. A good decision. I'm going to agree with that decision. Ward will start outside.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be on the outside of turn 1. We saw how much it hurt. I believe it hurt Jeff Gow early in the race, and it hurt Tyler Dalton as well. I think definitely I think it's going to be a pretty easy decision. You're going to want that inside row all night.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Krahula only come out in 7th there. He seemed to be moving through the field pretty well, but it looks like his stop was pretty much on par with everybody else. So there we go. That's the long and short of it. Through turn 2 now. Love how they paint that on the walls for us, so we kind of get a reference, an idea of where they might be on track. Because when you only have 3 turns to keep track of, well, it gets a little trickier, doesn't it? Sometimes they look the same.
Yeah, and I believe they even have it painted, wait, no turn 4 out here in turn 3. I'll have to look. I believe they do. Turn 3, yeah, I can't see.
Yeah, turn 3 definitely marked. You're coming out of 3 now. The pace car getting ready to pull off. We got the Ford Mustang on track this evening. The lights are out, and it is going off now. Here we go. Jeff Ward doesn't waste any time on the hammer. I'm sorry, not Ward. Brian Yazzie. Man, the blue truck thing got me again, buddy.
We gotta ask him to just change it up. Maybe flip colors or something. It's just like we don't have like a neon yellow car. We'll have to ask Yazzie if he can do that.
I'm going to move my camera in so I can see the numbers now. But yeah, Yazzie with a great start. Man, oh, Jeff Ward, he gets a little bit of the wall out of turn 1. Jeff Gow right up under his the wicker of that machine now. Woo, boy, look at that run. Yazzie's getting on down the back stretch. Here comes Tyler Dalton. Yeah. Boy, great restart there. There's Jeff Ward now looking to the inside of Tyler Dalton. They head down the short chute into 3.
Still spread out through the entire field. They're about 2 by 2 way back there. And if you get even farther back, yeah, then they start to get single filed out. But you'll see that these restarts. And oh no, we got a crash in the back.
We certainly do. And boy, who was that? That was that yellow truck right there. That was boy, man, there were a lot of people involved in that.
Looks like Jeff Ryan started it all by getting loose.
Yeah, it was Ryan that gets loose there off the top of the turn. He collects Rick Thompson's truck, and then they get the 67 of Brad Collins. I think Calvin Filarski got caught up in that too. He gets some damage from that. Man, that's the 28 spinning there in the middle of the track. That's Calvin. That's where you get damage pretty bad there, Dawson. Let's look at another angle on the replay here. See the yellow truck there sliding all by himself. And that's where he catches Rick Thompson. Rick Thompson, boy, noses it hard into the wall.
Wow.
There's that one truck right there. I didn't see that on the inside. It slides right down to the pit, but a little bit of a melee there. But we didn't have a chance to get much of a run going there. Probably just a situation where they were trying to get the heat back in the tires. Let's go on board with Calvin Filarski. Ouch.
Ooh. And just nowhere to go.
None at all. You see the 88 of Jeff Ryan there. Yeah, Jeff, it started with him spinning, but actually Jeff gets away from that. Gets a little bit of damage, but boy, not that much, to be honest with you.
He kind of, he's definitely the reason for the wreck, but he's walking away not as bad as most of the other trucks. Wow.
And Dawson, you mentioned it a little while ago how important the aero is here, and needing to keep the truck intact to survive this race and to be fast enough to be able to pull out and make a move on somebody. Those trucks are going to really be at a disadvantage now.
Yeah, you can get it fixed, but just it doesn't feel the same. It's never the same as a brand new truck. We don't have any quick repairs here, and I like that. You got to be cautious, but yeah, once you fix it, you can get it fixed as much as you want. They just never seem to be the same. We got pit stops coming here. Tyler Dalton going to be the first truck. No,
he's not. No, he's not.
Fell for it. Oh.
Yeah, you fell for it. That's all right. Hey, we're not perfect here, and we don't do math. Remember that, okay? We're not perfect, and we don't do math. That's a GSRC rule.
All right.
Unless it's a Predator race and we're actually forced to do math, all right?
Oh, Predator races.
Hey, we were watching a couple of your old buddies from the WSU tearing up the Predator race yesterday there on GSRC that we had.
Yeah, Josh, he's been working on that. He works on that religiously. He loves that C7, and it's fun just to listen to him. Oh, I'm not as fast as Sandman. I'm not as fast as Sandman. That Jordan, he's so fast. I'm like, come on, Josh. It's difficult, but he loves it. He just loves the series, everything about it. And I ran Daytona, and it's interesting. That Predator format is something else.
So for those of you watching, have been around for a while and following GSRC, Dawson used to run in the WSU series that me and Soup, Bill Zahn, used to cover on Sunday nights, and that was a Cup series. And you guys ran all these tracks, but a few of those guys have moved on and now road racing over in the Pac Majors and the Predator Challenge now, and Josh Wolf and Trevor Vrosky and Travis Henderson.
Yeah, all them guys, and I remember Soup and Crackers. We got to listen to them after. It was a lot of fun running that series, especially. It was just something to do on Sunday nights, something to look forward to, and yeah, now they've went to Pac Majors, and it sounds like next year. I don't know if I'm giving away spoilers or anything, but they're gonna go to it's not gonna be Pacific. It's just gonna be Majors, and it's gonna be a lot more people. Have you heard anything about that?
I have heard the rumblings, and I think our directors heard the rumblings as well. Does look like Mike Willett and the boys are over there are gonna maybe pull down the walls just a bit and open it up.
Yeah, that should be fun, and I'll be probably. I'd like to run that. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. All them WSU guys running that every week. I think I might have to participate in that.
Well, Soup and I certainly had a lot of fun calling those races. Let's face it, sometimes those fields were pretty limited, but the limited guys that were there, were every one of you were bad fast, and it was always a good race right to the finish. Now, Speaking of finishes and getting to a finish, we are now riding around here on lap 15. Yazik is going to restart this race. Your leader, he did not pit. Actually, your top 9 all elected to stay on track. James Krahula was the first truck to elect to pit right there, and he is in 10th. They all took fresh tires and topped off their tanks. You've got Krahula, Scala, Wilco, Fred Thompson. Fred Thompson was damaged in that wreck, but was not in the pit very, very long, so probably not enough optional repair to make much of a difference. Thompson will be interesting to watch because, again, he does have some damage on that machine, and, that could affect... Well, no, I said that. Thompson actually looks pretty good there. So the KFC Toyota looking okay. So we'll keep an eye on it.
You're making me hungry.
Well, I'm sorry. We had to have that conversation about the Colonel in the pre-race meeting, and my tummy's growling a little bit still after that. So.
Oh yeah.
You see, I made the mistake of turning my volume back up to listen in, and boy, they're just having a full-on conversation while everybody gets around here on the caution flag.
I don't know. It's this is fun. This is fun to listen to. Just to have that background. All of a sudden, you hear something here and there. You don't know the entire story.
Yeah, I'm catching stuff way out of context. Way out of context.
Yeah, yes.
I think Yazik lost the pace line there for a second. Decided he needed to do a little lawn maintenance. I don't know if we caught that there. Got down below the apron into the grass for just a second. I don't imagine that's going to help too much. All right, here we go. Heading down the back straight now into turn 2. Several trucks trying to make their way around after taking pit stops. No lucky dog here this time.
Actually, I believe Billy Tungate actually got it.
Did Tungate get one?
I believe he did. I thought I saw him driving around. I might be wrong though.
Let's give it to him. Let's give it to Billy Tungate. Going to give him the Coastal Safety Auditors lucky dog. There's Brutus behind the wheel. Billy, congratulations on getting that back. He's now on the lead lap with everybody. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire, life, and safety equipment. All right, we get to restart it again now. A little bit different this time. You got Tyler Dalton up here on this restart. Imagine he's going to try and challenge Yazik down that front straight. Look for Yazik to get a big jump here as they get out of 3. Pace car will peel in, come across the double white lines. And there we go, Yazik on the hammer. Across the line, he's going to lead this, get us restarted. Going to start lap 17. Tyler Dalton going to file in behind as they barrel down into 1. Ward, McQuistion back there battling side by side through 1. There's the 5 with Derek Paulson right behind him. McQuistion up the track just a bit. Ward trying to keep it down there.
Yeah, great racing here so far. They're spreading out a little bit more this time.
Ward, McQuistion locked up right there. Oh, watch out. There's Paulson. Gives a little bit of a love tap to McQuistion. Is it enough to... Boy, McQuistion... It was enough to get McQuistion to kind of run up towards the wall there. A little bit more momentum that he needed. Great job of saving it. Great job. Oh! Paulson. Boy, with a hip check there. Was that on Don Runkle? I think it was.
Nice save.
Yeah, we're going to catch the replay on this. There's Paulson up there right next to Krahula. He starts to slide, and then he gets Runkle. Runkle actually gets those 2 left sides down on the grass and still able to continue on. That was exciting, Dawson.
Yeah, wow, that was a nice save. I'm not gonna lie. Wow, a 4-wheel slide.
But it really. Oh, and who's that spinning right there? Chris Scala was spinning, and that's going to bring out the yellow. Oh, our 3rd caution flag is out. Let's see what happens here on the replay. Chris Scala in the Silverado there. And it looks like he got a little bit too much of that apron there, Dawson.
Yeah, that curb is not forgiving. Don't even mess with it. Just stay away. That's its 2nd victim, I believe, now.
Well, this car... Yeah, you know what? You can actually hear it there. He hits that curb, and that just really just sends the truck around. Now, let's see if anybody opts to come in here.
Dalton, Yazik, Ward, they all didn't last time. I wouldn't expect them to do it this time either.
All right, here we go, through turn 2. I think everybody's going to come in this time here. Let's see, our leaders now, they've all got about, they're working on 11 laps on those tires. I'm going to go with the attitude that, yeah, this is a good time to pit here. They come across, there'll be 41 laps remaining in this race. So we're about a 3rd way through here. 3 caution flags. I don't know, not too bad.
No. It's more the thing where cautions bring more cautions. They bunch them back up, they bring out more cautions, and hopefully we don't get stuck in a rut. Wow, Sean, I should have just trusted you. You've been in this business longer than me.
Well, there we go. Our leaders are all coming down the pit lane. Looks like Jeff Ward might have overshot the box just a little bit there. And he only took 2 tires.
He took right sides as well, so.
Looking like the only one who have done it there, Dawson.
Yep. From what I saw, Yazek on back took 4.
I think we do have a lucky dog. It was Norman Pelletier, I believe, getting that wave around.
Yep, there he is.
There's Norman Pelletier, driving that battered Toyota still around Pocono here. Our coastal safety auditor's lucky dog. Good boy, Brutus. Thanks for pulling that out for us there. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire, life, and safety equipment. All right. Done the pit stops. We got the lucky dog out of the way. We're going to step away for a quick break here on the Global Sim Racing Channel and the American Pool Supply Series. Here with you this evening for the Pocono 150. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Pocono 150 here from Pocono Raceway in the American Pool Supply Truck Series this evening. John Wilco has decided that he was not going to take a pit, and he's going to start as your leader from the top side. Pace car getting ready to peel off now. Jeff Ward down on the inside, laying back just a little bit. Coming through the short chute now. Heading towards turn 3. Everybody nervous with anticipation. James Grahula starting there on the outside. Brian Yazik just behind, and row 2 will be on the inside. Jeff Gow, Tyler Dalton, row 3. Here we go. Get ready, folks. This should be exciting. First guy to try this from the top side here on the restart. We'll see what Wilco can do with older tires. Here we go. Wilco wastes no time. Gets right on it. Nice start for him. Yazik gets a little bit checked up by Jeff Ward. Truck going all the way down to the wall there. I didn't see who that was. Got all the way out of it. Wilco doing a good job there, hanging on to the lead there as they go through turn 1. Here comes James Grahula. What a run. Grahula just, Dalton gonna make it 3 wide. Oh, that is really close.
Play nice, boys, play nice. Yep, Wilco gonna back out. There we go.
Now, Dawson,
Ward pushing up. Now we have another 3 wide.
Yeah, Yazik down there on the bottom. Ward did something interesting in the pit, didn't he, Dawson?
Yeah, Ward took 2 tires versus everybody else taking 4, and it's already, he's losing spots. I wonder if that's starting to hurt him.
Oof. Boy, he was awful loose there, coming off a 3.
It's something is weird. It's certain vehicles at certain tracks that 2 tires here on iRacing, it either works or it doesn't, and it really depends. It's weird, and hopefully if he gets a long run, this could really hurt him.
Oh, look at James Grahula already way up there, half a second. Now Tyler Dalton getting a run. Grahula did not get quite the exit he wanted off of 1. That has opened a door for Dalton. Paulson with trouble. Paulson with big trouble, bringing out the caution flag. Oh boy, he slaps the wall and he hits Travis McQuistion when he's coming back across the track. McQuistion hits the inside tire barrier very, very hard. Paulson here in the number 5. Boy, he just loses it, can't correct it, and McQuistion, you see getting by. McQuistion's going to hit that inside wall really, really hard there. Dawson, go on board with McQuistion here.
Well, you can see it's happening down there, and he's kind of just following, and just peeks out at the wrong second.
Yeah, nowhere to go for him.
No.
He hits it so hard. Both sides of that truck damaged pretty heavily there.
Yeah, we'll see how long he's on pit road. Oh, he's actually bringing it down right now.
Boy, I'll tell you who's really having trouble. That's Norm Pelletier. I don't know, did Pelletier hit anything, but his truck is smoking bad.
I'll go back and check.
Trying to find what happened to Norm there.
He had front damage from before. He went through, I think that's a glitch, because he went through that accident untouched.
Yeah, now he'd already had some damage on the truck though, from an earlier incident. Boy, that smoking thing, maybe, there he is, it's smoking again.
Now, maybe it blew up from that damage before, and I know on iRacing the smoking stops if you turn the ignition off.
Oh, okay, so maybe trying to nurse it along here?
Yeah, I think so.
He's coming down the pit safety road now. I don't know what he's going to do here.
Off. I think it was just, I think he might have just blew up from that damage.
From the previous damage, yeah, it's very possible. Well, he's sliding into his pit box now.
That's more than likely a meatball.
And the truck is down and not smoking anymore. No telling how much damage he's going to have, but we'll keep an eye on that. Another truck we had trouble was Andrew Jones. That was the truck that was slow. on the restart had gone all the way down to the wall, the inside wall when we got restarted. He's on pit lane. So a few trucks came out. Jeff Ward, interesting note here, Ward did come in for a pit stop, Dawson.
Yeah, I'm thinking, just looking at, he looked uncomfortable. The car was loose. He wasn't getting the same entry and exit. I think it had to be that 2 tires. That's
okay.
Gotta be.
But when we restart this race, we're going to restart, I think, with like 33 laps to go, maybe?
Ooh. Yazik is back there as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yazik also took a stop there. I'm wondering, do we start looking at maybe a long game? Maybe this is the last stop of the race for those two?
It could be.
I guess really the cautions will dictate that.
Yazik is saving fuel right now. So I think that might be what he's thinking, that could, if it goes green. I think even if you get 5 laps, you still need to pit. Your tires are going to be that bad.
Yeah, and I'm looking at James Krahula's truck now. James is going to restart this race, your leader. That truck is not without damage. He's got a little bit of something going on there on the front end, a little wrinkled up. You'd think that might cause a problem, but boy, Krahula's been awful fast this evening, regardless of a little bit of a wrinkle there on the front end. He could rip off and win one of these things. Certainly, with the way the points are right now, for him to get a win would be major this evening.
Well, now that I think another thing, Yazik taking that pit stop, he is now in the back where all of the cautions have happened. That if it turns out that we have another wreck and it's one of them where it's really hard to find a clean spot to go and Yazik gets piled up, that would be really unfortunate, and that would really help James, but I think that might be the other side effect of taking that pit stop.
And we're not going to have a lucky dog this time. I don't think we weren't green long enough to get one there that time.
Nope.
In fact, right now I've got 16 trucks all on the lead lap. Everybody else in the pit or behind the wall at this point. In fact, those are Norman Pelletier, Travis McQuistion, Brad Collins, Calvin Filarski. Oh, I'm sorry, Collins got his truck back out on track, actually. So Collins going to take a run at it here. Try to.
And a lot of damage still to that X-Bolt machine.
Yeah, we were saying before the broadcast, I really was a fan of that paint scheme there. I'm sorry, he scratched it up a little bit.
5 laps down, and McQuistion, he's not out on track. I wonder if he's thinking, hey, there's a spot I run 5 laps and I beat him. Every point adds up here.
Now, we are racing to the halfway point of this race, lap 30. The American Pool Supply Halfway Award. James Krahula in contention for that right now. Tyler Dalton. We will get restarted before the halfway point, so they will definitely get a chance to race to it. And we don't stop for any caution or anything like that. We're not doing any NASCAR style-esque stage racing where we'll have to throw a caution. They'll run through it, but we will award that to the driver in the lead when they complete lap 30. Krahula stands the best shot to do that from the restart here. It looks like he's going to try his hand at starting from the top side, Dawson.
You know, it seemed like it kind of worked out for Wilco. He was out in front for a little bit. So maybe just a little bit of experimenting. And, you know, talking about Tyler Dalton, we haven't talked about him, I think, enough in this points race. He's 59 behind Yazik, but let's say he gets a stage win here. I think he's in a comfortable enough position in 3rd place. The next spot down is another 43 back. Roll the dice, do something different, and maybe get a stage win. That would really, it could dice up the points, and I think he's in a position that he's close enough to do it.
Yeah, he is. Listen, Tyler's been a victim quite a bit. He's just run into bad luck here and there. He's done a great job to keep himself that close in the points. Really, at this point, a win is what he needs. He needs to string a couple together. Needs to string together a couple of these. Easy for me to say, but yeah, definitely off to the great start to get it done tonight. All right, the Ford Mustang pace car is coming out of turn 3 now. It's getting ready to peel off. Krahula, is he going to hold him up or is he going to go? He's going to go. Krahula, boy, he is off to a great start. Jeff Gow back there looking down to the inside, look to make it 3 wide. John Wilco on the top. Tyler Dalton is the meat as they head down into 1.
And 3, 4, they're all spread out, driving down into 1 now. Almost. Gow is not going to be able to get under Dalton.
Wow, Snoop Doggy Don Runkle with a great run there out of turn 1. He moves up to 4th, but it's James Krahula with the big start. Riding around on lap 29.
Well, that's the second time we've seen a big run from that high side.
Boy, Krahula really wrapped the curb getting through there. It's allowed Tyler Dalton to close in. This could be a move for the lead as they come out of turn 3. I don't think Dalton's going to get enough of a run. Jeff Gow's getting that run, though. Back there in 3rd. Krahula going to lead the first lap here on the restart, Dawson.
And Yazek already in 4th place. From starting way back beyond yonder, he's already up to 4th spot, and I think them 4 tires are making the difference.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, Don Runkle gets into the back of John Wilco there, lifts him up just a bit. Wilco able to do a great job of hanging on to it. Look at this battle
Runkle
up front.
And Lawrence,
Gow
side by side.
Gow getting up under Dalton here. Jeff Gow and the EB Games Chevrolet having a magnificent start. Great run here halfway through the race.
Now we saw Dalton go high through that turn. He's going to get a nice run down this long back stretch.
All right, and your American Pool Supply halfway award winner is going to be James Krahula. That Coastal Safety Auditor Chevrolet. Great job there by James. All about that restart. Tyler Dalton able not to get there yet. There's Yazek right alongside of Jeff Gow. Yazek going to take it going into turn 2.
Now, how many laps did we have on the tires? It wasn't much, was it? Like, it couldn't have been.
Well, right now, Gow and Dalton and Krahula all working on lap 11 on those tires right now. So about a difference of what? About 6 laps? Yeah, about 6 laps.
Wow. That's a for such a small amount of laps. That's a big difference from what Yazek is doing right now.
Well, we do know that Yazek is armed with those HPP pedals. Could it be the pedals?
It's pretty spaced out here now. Your top 3 all pretty close. After that, it's a pretty far drop back to Jeff Ward, who also took 4 tires.
You got to pass the lead, Dalton. Looking down to the inside of Krahula. Got to keep it from running up the track. He's doing a great job of making it stick down there. Side by side, like Seattle's bathtubs coming out of 3 and across the line. James Krahula is still going to be the leader. But turn 1, it could all change again. Dalton going to get behind. Try and get a little speed off of the back wicker there of Krahula. No, he's going to follow. Krahula taking it all the way down to the bottom there. He does not want to leave the door open for Dalton. Krahula solid, nice, smooth transition up the track, right up to the wall there. That's where the speed is. Dalton can't catch him. Yazek, surprisingly enough, not able to really reel these guys in yet.
I think that might change here if they start to get side by side. I know Krahula running a little wide. Now they're side by side again.
Oh,
Yazik's gonna go in. Oh, nope. Thinks better of it. Oh.
He did exactly. He told the words right from my mouth. He does think better of it. Oh, they're gonna be 3 wide here. I think so. Watch out. Oh, Krahula right up in front of Yazik.
He's getting that run down that backstretch yet again.
Dawson, we are moving right along here. We are well past the halfway point now. Tyler Dalton is now taking over this lead officially from James Krahula as they head down the back stretch to turn 2. Brian Yazik going to try and also take it away from James Krahula. There he goes. Krahula says, okay, take it for now. For now. He's going to be back. Watch out. They've really started to open things up, though, on the rest of the field, although Jeff Gow is starting to make a little bit of a run. And guess who he's bringing with him? Jeff Ward. Look at all these J's here. We've got James Krahula, Jeff Gow, Jeff Ward, and Jonathan Lawrence.
That's not nice on the commentators. I prefer different letters. It's a little easier.
Mix things up a bit, right?
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of a break.
We saw Jeff Ward. He also pit. Did Gow pit as well? I don't.
No.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Gow didn't pit.
Yazik. Tyler's now had a couple laps to lead, but I think Brian's kind of thinking it's his time to shine here pretty soon.
Well, and again, remember, Yazik could be playing the long game here to finish this race without another stop, and if that's the case, he's got no problem riding behind Dalton right now. He's saving a little bit of fuel doing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, I'm thinking of that.
Him and Ward are going to be really, really close on fuel if they decide to stay out. I'm not creating fuel drama. I'm telling you how it is. Victory Lane may be a fuel mileage deal here because these drivers seem to have settled in. I think everybody's just about figured out Pocono, and we now have 25 laps to go. This race is really almost over. You really got to be thinking about your end game here, Dawson. And speaking of end games, here goes Brian Yazik.
Yeah, he's gonna duck into turn 2. I like that turn a lot. It's a nice, if you can really get a run out of 1, that's a fun turn to pass in. Yazik gets it done.
He does. Now James Krahula making his way back up here. I'm sure he'd love to get back up front. And Yazik, oh boy, Tyler Dalton really loose off of 3. And that could be those 17-lap-old tires starting to talk to him just a bit, couldn't it, Dawson?
It's got to be getting there, and at what point does Dalton say, okay, I might need new tires here when I need new gas? You're looking at a little bit like 40 laps. You could cut that in half and try to beat everybody else who didn't pit, or I think you got to stick with it and run this thing dry and hope that you get a caution.
Of course, the person that does not want a caution right now is Brian Yazik, or Jeff Ward for that matter. Ward just turning the fastest lap. He was the fastest around the last lap, so Ward's starting to make up a little bit of ground here. Really only about 3/4 of a second back from Yazik. In fact, he's starting to make a run at James Krahula. 89 starting to look strong.
Yeah, I think Bryant might have been a little more aggressive on that start, and Ward, he might have been saving them tires, and now it's starting to turn around. All right, Ward's going to have a little fresher tires, and now he's starting to use them.
Yeah, well, if the plan was to run it out, obviously a little tire saving is going to go a long way, because a full stint, 34 to, somewhere in that 34 to 35 lap range on this track and these tires that's a long way to go, brother.
Yeah, I've been that guy too. I believe running at Michigan, I was kind of just sitting back, enjoying my time. You saw 3 guys ahead of me all battling it out, using up their tires. All of a sudden, a couple laps go by, and I pass one, I pass another. It's that saving tires. It really works.
What do you do to save them? I mean, where do you start when you make that decision and you're trying to save the tires? Where do you make the sacrifice, Tyler? Dawson, I'm sorry, Tyler.
I think it's more of what I've been told. I kind of just do it subconsciously. It's if you let off the gas really hard, really quick, that'll create a little bit of turn. If you let off nicely, that'll save a little bit of tire, and it's kind of the same way coming back into the gas. If you go in nicer, it won't be as loose. You have a less chance of sliding them tires, and you're being more nice to them. That's all I really do. Is pretty much just I don't try and get onto the gas as early as I can. I get onto the gas when I know I can. Gotcha.
Well, tell you what, right now it's still a battle up front with Yazik in the lead. Jeff Ward back there riding right now. I think he is riding. He's taking advantage of Krahula, using him as a drafting buddy right now, trying to get the most he can out of his tank. I don't think by any means that truck is slow. I think Ward's right where he wants to be right now. The top 4 really putting on a show for us. Jeff Gow has slid back 2.5 seconds now. Andrew Jones just getting around. Jonathan Lawrence taking the 6th spot.
Oh, we got it.
Oh boy, and now he's around. But does not
no yellow though.
No yellow. He does not come back on track in the racing line. And as our director just reminded me, yes, the commentator's curse is in effect. And listen, it's not the first time I cursed somebody today. Lotus 79 race, I threw down the curse on a couple of drivers, unfortunately.
I believe I was watching one of the Pac Major races, and you guys were talking about Josh, and I was like, hey, knock that off. I came in, I went into the chat, I believe, and I said, hey, enough of that. We don't want a commentator's curse. I think I was sitting in there, and Josh is like, tell them to stop talking about me. They're going to give me the curse. It's real. I believe in it completely.
Okay, yeah, battle for 11th here at Billy Tungate. Trying to take the position here. Or Jeff Ryan trying to take the position for Tungate. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Tungate, the American Pool Supply Chevrolet, hanging on. A little bit of damage. Jeff had his trouble this evening. The Bojangles Chevrolet. But they are having a good run at each other right now, both on the same tire and fuel strategy.
Yeah, it's the same strategy, but that turn a little different. One went high, one went low.
Here comes Ryan. Ryan with a strong run there out of the turn. Got to get through 3 here. He does it clean. I don't think Tungate's going to be able to cross him over here. He's going to try. That's a pretty good run there by Tungate. But give the position to Jeff Ryan for now, up to 11th. Oh, Jeff Ward getting by Krahula. He does it. Now Krahula going to try and cross him over here out of 2.
He's right at his bumper.
Okay, now Jeff Gow, one of those guys that did not pit at the last stop there, just made the call. He is coming down pit lane. Jonathan Lawrence, another one of those, coming to the pit lane. All right, so some of these guys that stayed out starting to make that decision.
I think I like that. I think so, because he's cutting his tire run in half. He had 40 laps to go. Obviously, he can't make it, so he cuts it in half on them tires. So he'll be the first one. He'll get that undercut. He'll be the leader, I guess you'd say, of the guys who have to pit.
Boy, Ward took his time getting around James Krahula. Was it too much time? Did he let Yazik get too far away? About 1.7 seconds behind the leader. Maybe not. He's got Tyler Dalton to work with here up in front of him.
Now let's say hypothetically Yazik was just barely short on fuel. Now he's been running out in front for how long? Where Ward is probably going to have a little bit of extra fuel because he was tucked under Krahula. Now if that's the splitting difference to where Yazik runs out and Ward doesn't, then I'll be shocked. But I mean, he was saving maybe a little bit extra gas.
Fred Thompson lets Brian Yazik by. Thank you, Fred. There's Fred. That's the red KFC Toyota.
Now Ward making another move. Oof.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Ward up to second.
Maybe he's tired of waiting.
Yeah.
It's go time.
By the way, Fred, when you go back and watch the broadcast, I want the crispy kernel on there. Let's get the crispy kernel on the truck, buddy.
Oh, Krahula even giving... That was almost a bump draft down the backstretch there.
That's exactly what it is, yeah. Krahula giving a little bit of help there to Tyler Dalton. I don't know that it's enough, though, because I really think Krahula and Dalton are really starting to battle with some tires that are falling off on them, and Jeff Ward, that 6-lap difference is showing its hand right now. But Yazik is now off to almost 2 seconds ahead of Ward. The traffic, obviously, that Ward had to fight through there, it might have been a little bit of the difference, but at some point here, Ward's going to have to get a little bit faster than Yazik, obviously, to catch him. 15 laps to go when we come around this time across the line. Jeff Ward going to be your second place truck. Brian Yazik still holding on. Let's run through the top 10. Yazik in the lead. Jeff Ward in second right now. Tyler Dalton back to third. James Krahula still digging. He's still in this thing. He sits in fourth. Chris Scala holding on to fifth place right now. Derek Paulson, sixth. John Wilco, seventh. Snoop Doggy Don Runkle still digging out there, man. He's in eighth. Andrew Jones in ninth. And Billy Tungate still in this thing. Still driving around here in that slightly damaged American Pool Supply Chevrolet. He is 10th. Jeff Ryan, not quite done with him yet, though. I think that might come down. That might be a last lap deal there between those two. Now, again, let me give you an update on Chris Scala, because he's been in the pits just about more than anybody out here. But he came in at the right time. He is also working on that same strategy that Ward and Yazik seem to be working with. I'm starting to wonder there in that spot. You know, Scala could be possibly looking at a podium finish here if he could just keep himself in front of Derek Paulson. Because I really think Dalton and Krahula are going to have to pit if this thing stays green.
Yeah, I think they will. Will Ward and Yazik have to pit also? I don't know. And even if they do, maybe they only have to throw a little bit of gas in there. That's not much. That's not going to be as much time as the guys who are probably going to be throwing on 4. But Gao looks to be, he's the only guy who threw 4 tires on, and he is still running. Who knows how that shapes up once everybody pits. I think he'll be right there.
Actually, I'm showing Scala's on 2 from that last stop. Now, the question is, we don't know exactly how old the other 2 tires were. That last, remember that last caution flag came out pretty quick. I think we maybe got 2 laps in from the previous one, so hard to say exactly when he may have changed those. But again, Scala working on a pretty good strategy here that, again, gives him a shot at the podium. He's quite a ways back, 13.5 seconds from our leader, Brian Yazik. But again, not a bad approach at possibly getting a podium finish.
Yeah, and as we said, it's not even his truck. He's filling in this week, so how awesome would that be? Just show up,
I think Devin Cannon would be happy with that. Oh, Scala coming around Fred Thompson. Thompson all of a sudden off pace.
it still looks, his machine looks clean. I wonder if he's maybe having tire issues.
He just came on the radio and said something. I didn't quite catch it, but let's go back up front because Yazek going to come around this time with just 11 laps to go here when he gets back around this track in turn 2 now. Jeff Ward still a second and a half behind him. Hasn't really seemed to gain much. He was a little bit faster on that last lap, but it was only about a tenth of a second. You see the gap there between first and second on screen. That is the battle. Ward obviously getting a little bit better run there through the turn. He starts to get a little bit of a gain. Gets obviously a great exit. He is closing it down just a bit. And he was fastest around the track again. So Jeff Ward got something working there. He's starting to make things happen just a bit. Here comes Yazek coming up on Tommy and Massey. We've not talked about it all. Massey's had a rough run tonight. He's still in this race. Lets Yazek get by clean. And Massey, the Carolina driver there, stuck in the middle. Here comes Jeff Ward. Going to take advantage of that draft and able to close it down even more now. Ward gets it down to under a second for the first time. Gets under a Massey here. Out of turn 3, Dawson.
Yeah, Ward now, he'd be in the draft. I believe it's a second is the effect, so we might see that number really start to decrease now if he can keep it within a second. Now, I did figure out what Thompson had said. He didn't see Scala. He said his truck blended in with the track. He didn't even see him coming up, so just a little bit of, yeah, just didn't see him. And Ward, he's getting there, slowly but surely. If this goes green the rest of the way, and it's starting to look like it will, he might be there. Yeah, what, 9 laps to go this time? Yeah,
he's reeling him in. We call this the peck away theory. He's just pecking away a little bit at a time.
That's a little bit different than the Jaws theme theory. That one's a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and listen, he can get to Yazzie. Okay, we've already established that he's doing just enough that he might be able to get there here by the end of this run. But that's one thing. Can he get around Yazzie? Yazzie just not going to open a door and say, "Yeah, come on through, Jeff. Take this one away from me." I don't think it's going to be that easy. Jeff Ward, though, we know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dawson.
Okay, yeah. By the time he gets there, it could easily be too late. You're using up your stuff, and this whole the way the track and the tires work here in iRacing, it's so realistic to where his tires might be heated up too much to where you start to lose grip.
I really think Tyler Dalton is pedaling his truck around here right now, trying to salvage a fourth place finish. I really think those guys are going to get caught out. They're going to need a pit stop, and we don't have much time left. Only 8 laps to go here.
I think maybe we're wrong. Maybe they can go a little bit longer than what we were thinking. But if it's what we're thinking, 30 laps, he's going to have to pit here soon. And I'm thinking if you waited this long, you're going to just go in, gas it up, and go. You're not even going to take new tires. It's going to take too long. Because we saw Jeff Gow, he put 4 fresh tires on halfway through, so he should have, hypothetically, out of the pit cars, the fastest lap times throughout a run.
Okay, now, last lap here, Yazek back to the power, a little bit faster, opens it back up to just over a second. Karhula, long way to go. He's 5 seconds behind Yazek. actually 6 seconds behind Yazik. He's 5 seconds behind Jeff Ward right now. It's a great run, though, for Krahula tonight. I mean, he's been solid this evening. Again, though, I fear he is just going to have to come in.
Yeah, he might just be on the wrong strategy tonight. He's been the fastest off of his strategy for sure, but yeah, it might just be a luck thing that didn't seem to fall his way. He did get that first half win though, and that'll help him in points.
Okay, so checking out the sights and sounds of the track, we're being told that James he's saving. He's definitely fuel saving. He's turning the truck off and on right now. So James trying some of the old tricks of the trade here at Oval Racing, trying to save some fuel. We're going to go on board with him here. Listen real closely, folks. I'll shut up. Here at the end of the straight, just listen real closely. Truck is off. And it's back on. Oh boy. James Krahula.
Clap on, clap off.
Yeah. James.
Got the clapper installed.
James has always been, all the guys over at Unacceptable Racing have always been long strategy guys, and I am not surprised by this at all. I just don't know if it's going to help, man. I really don't. We're going to find out here really soon. There are only 5 laps left in this race, and they've already done 36 laps, which is 2 more laps than what I thought their window was. So I don't know, man. There was a caution flag in there. They're trying to save. I think Krahula is going to be right up against it or just short. But I think Yazik and Ward are going to be clear to fight. Does Ward have any speed left in that truck? Uh-oh, John Wilco's in. Now, Wilco,
2-tire stop there for Wilco.
Billy Tungate's in. Now, they were on much older tires. They just could not make it on fuel. Ward's starting to reel it in just a bit. He was a 10th faster on that last lap. He's got it down to 0.8 of a second.
And now, with all these pit stops, Jeff Gow, he's going to be riding right into that top 10.
Jones and Andrew Jones and Runkle still mixing it up too. Those two having a pretty good battle. They've been hooked up for a while. Runkle having a strong race here. 7th place, not out of the question. All right, Ward has chopped this down to half a second as they come across the start-finish line. We've got 3 laps to go. He's definitely boogieing now. Boy, look at him closing on him here, turn 1. Ward can see it. He's reading Yazik's license plate. He's had enough of catching all that rubber that Yazik's throwing out. What does Ward have left here? I'm really, really curious. Is it enough? Is he going to be able to execute a pass on Brian Yazik?
Now, has Ward been catching Yazik because Yazik has been saving? That could be a whole different side, and Yazik could flip the switch here and maybe drive away. I hope, just for the sake of how this ends, that they come side by side.
Yeah, I don't know that either one of them need to save at this point. I think they saved everything they needed to already. And based on some of the other trucks we're seeing that have been out a little bit longer, I think they're going to be okay. But, again, Tyler Dalton, James Krahula, right now they're just starting lap 39 on their runs. It's going to be really close.
I know, and that's to go. Yeah, that's with the caution flag laps. So your 30 laps that you figured in, 32, 34, it's right there.
All right. That Jeff Gow moves on up to 8th place. All right, Yazik coming out of 3. Ward still closing. Yazik going to come across the line. The white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Can Yazik hang on to it? Can he hold off the attack of Jeff Ward? I don't know that Ward's got anything left. He was a little bit faster, but it wasn't enough. Can he get this run down the back straight one last time? I don't think so, Dawson. It's going to be really tough. Yazik's done a good job.
That's a pretty large 6/10 that he needs.
Yeah, boy, Yazik really, really strong there out of turn 2. Doing just enough to keep him back there. I don't know. It's going to be enough for Ward tonight. Yazik been in command here since he took the lead. Coming out of turn 3, Brian Yazik heading for the start-finish line and takes the checkered flag here in the Pocono 150 for Pocono Raceway, the American Pool Supply Series. Jeff Ward second. Krahula gonna have
He's
enough
coming.
fuel.
Here they go. They've got enough fuel. Oh no, Krahula's out.
Sputtering.
Just barely.
Sputtering. Tyler Dalton comes across in 4th. Chris Scala driving for Devin Cannon this evening, going to get a top 5 in the RLARS truck tonight.
Derek Paulson, he's going to make it happen too.
Andrew Jones. Jones coming across the line. They're going to give it to Jones. Jones going to get 7th. Gal going to get 8th. Boy, that was a good race across the line there.
0.03 of a second.
All right. Well, man, that was a great one. Our congratulations to Brian. Put it out, Yazik. And we will be back with you here in just one. We're going to take a quick break on the Global Sim Racing channel. Welcome back on the Global Sim Racing channel. You've just watched the Pocono 150 here in the Premier Racing League American Pool Supply Truck Series. Round 18 in the books, Dawson. Let's look at how things settled out tonight. Your big winner, Brian Yazik, does it on fuel. He gets it, got enough to get it finished, and he does. Jeff Ward, same thing. So the same strategy there with Yazik, second place. James Krula running out of fuel across the line, secures a podium spot. Congratulations, James. Tyler Dalton with a fourth. Chris Scala driving for Devin Canada tonight, finishes fifth. I think Devin will be happy with that. Derek Paulson, sixth. Andrew Jones, seventh. Jeff Gow, eighth. Jonathan Lawrence, ninth. And Stu Doggy Don Runkle, lap down though, does get a top 10 run.
John Wilco, he just misses the top 10. We saw him he had a little bit of issues. He actually got up front for a while, got him some good TV time. Jeff Ryan, we saw that battle along with Massey. That was actually a lot of fun back there. Fred Thompson taking up 14th. Billy Tungate 15th. He's your first car 2 laps down. Then Brad Collins, Rick Thompson, Norman Pelletier, Travis McQuinston had some issues, and Calvin Filarski to round out 20th.
Well, Dawson, you know what? I'm going to give you a shot here. I'm going to let you talk to James Carolla because you did say you wanted to talk to him, and you know what? He's here. He's celebrating a third place finish on the podium this evening. Go.
All right. Well, James, when it all started out, saw Yazik head pit, and I thought, I'm actually okay with you. I before everything happened, I said, stay out, and Sean was like, no, they should pit. It turned out to be the wrong strategy, but you were the winner of the wrong strategy in a way. Do you know how many laps exactly did you go there with fuel?
Oh, I don't know how long I went on fuel. To us, I mean, with the way that the season's been going out, the American Pool Supply halfway bonus is definitely the priority that we're looking for. So that was the whole goal. Did not charge my iPad tonight, so I did not have SimRacing apps up, so I did not know how far we could go on fuel. I didn't know that that was the window. So I was just focused on even then, I thought I was still going for halfway bonus, because who would have thought that we were going to go green to the end from that point there? But hey, you know what? We had a good finish. We got the halfway. That was a battle there, and then Brian and Jeff, they went off into the sunset. They didn't have to save, and I started saving about 5 laps to go when I knew that we probably weren't going to get that yellow. So it worked out. We made the best of the situation that we could, and were able to make it there to the end.
Yeah, I know. While Sean was giving the call for Brian and Jeff coming to the start-finish line, I was riding with you for that last lap, and you started out where you would just save as you would let off, but that last lap, you were shutting the car off, or as you say, you were just clutching it about 5 to 6 car lengths into the turns. Obviously, you didn't have your SimRacing apps up like you said, but you had to have the iRacing fuel counter, which we all know is not perfect. But what was that reading?
With about 5 laps to go, I was a full lap short, and so I just started clutching it at the 3, going into each of the turns, and I don't know how we made it, but I figure we were going to be in a bad situation either. So I was like, well, let's see, and then I decided to try it for a lap, and I saw how much I saved, and I was like, well, I think that's enough. So I just continued that for the last lap. When we got to a lap to go, I saw that Tyler was catching me. I know that he had saved enough. So I was like, well, let's just go out, and then off of turn 3, not turn 4 like I said earlier, off of turn 3 we started sputtering, and it came across the line. Overall, it was still a great race. I'm very pleased with tonight. Again, getting American Pool Supply halfway is very key to these races. It didn't work out too well with the overall race strategy, but still, we played tonight exactly how we needed to, and I wound up going out here okay. I think Brian's still got a couple more points on us, but we're still there, still fighting. We'll we're halfway through the season. We'll keep going here till we get to Atlanta at the season's end.
Yeah, it should be fun to see how this peels out. You're only a couple handful points away. I think 14 is what you came into this race. You can't be looking too bad to come out, and keep running these top 5 races and getting that halfway point, and you should be good. So next week we're looking at, I believe, Michigan. Is you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the last couple weeks has just been. I wasn't in until Joe actually here in the booth texted me asking, "Hey, do you have the point standings?" When I realized, like, oh shoot, I forgot what time it was. I've been out running around. I didn't get to run a lap till I came in for qualifying here tonight. So hopefully we have a little bit more preparation for Michigan. We have SimRacing apps, which that is absolutely an asset to have that running. Hopefully we have everything a little bit more prepared next week, and we can. Still haven't gotten a win this year. That's important. We need to break through and start getting that if we're going to go after Brian. He gained another 2 points on us tonight, so we'll just keep going.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck to you next week.
Thanks, Dawson.
All right, Dawson, great job there with James. Now we've caught up with the winner of this race, celebrating heavy and hard down there in Victory Lane, Brian Yazik in the HPP Chevrolet Silverado. I know that pains you a little bit to hear that, Brian, but got to be happy with the win, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it does pain. I wish Ford was on here.
I know you're a Ford guy.
It's simple enough, but no, it was great. You know, I've always kind of gotten around Pocono pretty good in the truck. I don't know, something just kind of worked, and it took me a minute to kind of figure out what I wanted, you know, what the kind of the feel that I wanted in practice, to really kind of get that going. And then once I figured out, oh yeah, that's how you have to drive this place, we were doing all right. And then it feels good. It's been a while since I won here, but it's good to get the HPP simulation machine, Loud Pedal Motorsports machine, back into Victory Lane.
Now, Brian, I gotta ask, did you and Jeff know what you were doing when you came in and took that last stop there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were sitting there, because the caution before, I was actually thinking about it. Like, well, if the caution comes out in X amount of time, then I'll just pit regardless. And sure enough, it fell into that window. And then when you're faced with the decision, you're like, oh crap. But so we kind of waited out. Jeff and I, we both kind of decided, you know what, we could sacrifice a couple points just because, it just had one of those feelings about it where you just know it's going to run. It's just bound to run green for a while, and it's just a matter of when. And I liked having the peace of mind of knowing that I had enough fuel to make it.
Yeah, and listen, we had a little fuel mileage drama. That's always a little bit of fun, man. It was just like the Cup race today.
Yeah, absolutely. That made things a little interesting, that's for sure.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you're not in Krahula's truck when he's driving it around, but that fool was clutching it and gliding it through turns, and he comes across the line sputtering. So, yeah, typical James Krahula fashion there. Yeah,
and that's the thing is, I didn't want to be in that spot of having to try to save fuel, because when the caution came out, I was looking at my my telemetry, and it was 3 laps short. And I thought, okay, maybe I could stretch it, save big time under this caution, and then as the pace slows down, we'd just be all right and go with it that way. But then I thought, you know what? It's not worth it. I'd much rather know that I'm good and I can go on full attack. And I'll tell you what, the flagman dropped the green on that restart, and I found myself 3 wide twice before turn 2, and that was kind of interesting. But it just worked out. We came off turn 4 or turn. No, I did it again. Damn it, James. We came off of turn 3 there, and it was the one lap to go before the halfway bonus, and I'd lost 1 position from where I was running to before and after. So it just kind of worked out. So it's never a bad situation when you go out and win.
Well, Brian, congratulations. Now, listen, your win this evening, it helps. It gets you up to 4 this season. Corhula still marginally behind you, 16 points. I think we were 14 points going into this evening. He gets the bonus points at the halfway, but, brother, you're still in command of this. But Corhula, he's bound to find a win here at some point. He hasn't got one yet. He gets a win, you're in trouble, man.
Oh, I know. And the other fun part is Michigan. I'm actually going to miss Michigan coming up in a couple weeks because I'll be driving back from the actual Michigan race.
Right.
So there's that, but then just kind of perusing through the calendar, there might be one more I might miss, but we'll be all right. So I think that's where a lot of these guys are finding that opportunity to strike, because I've been you've been out a lot on the road and stuff like that. When I'm coming back from Eldora and my phone goes off with a text from my mom saying, "Let's play a game. Where in the world is Brian Yazek today?" You do that, you're bound to miss some races. So, but it's cool. Went to Eldora and went to Iowa and all that stuff this month. So that's pretty cool.
Well, it was cool watching you win tonight, brother. Again, congratulations. We will see you next time you make it back with us here on the Global Sim Racing channel.
Yeah, I'll be here. Well, I mean, technically for the Global Sim Racing channel, it'll be Wednesday in the Lionheart series. And then we'll be back in the Cup series on Thursday. So I'll tell you what, though, I got some confidence now coming into Thursday. So that's, everybody watch out. I know what I'm doing now.
All right. And listen, take care, buddy. We will see you again. Now we're gonna let Dawson talk to Jeff Ward, who was chasing Brian Yazek this evening. Dawson, you've got Jeff.
All right, Jeff. Not a bad result. You can't argue with the second place. Well, you might maybe argue a little bit, considering you won last week and you had been on a hot streak. But now second place. How are you feeling?
Yeah, second's not too bad, man. I gotta say congrats to Brian. He drove a heck of a race there, and it was actually his idea to do that fuel strategy. So, I was the first to dart down there, and then he darted down, and we kind of did that, and it worked real well. So we got the win and second place. But we just need a little more time, man. Brian was really good. I'm not sure if he was saving a little bit or if we were just a little bit better than him there on that long run. But we just got held up in traffic on the restart, and he got so far out there that I really had to try to work to get to him, and we needed about probably 5-10 more laps to make it happen. But no, he drove a heck of a race, and congrats to him.
Yeah, we saw we had the relative up, and you were chasing him down. You were bringing it in. All of a sudden, we were like, "Hey, in a second, hey, it's within 0.8", and it just kind of stalled out after that. You got it to within, I think, 0.6 is about as close as it got. But I was thinking maybe when you got into that draft, you would be able to catch a little bit more, but it just didn't seem to happen. And I don't know if you maybe ran out of stuff there late, or what exactly happened. Was it just he maybe picked it up, or what do you think?
Well, I knew time was winding down, and the truck was driving kind of strange. It would get real tight in the tunnel turn, but it would be real loose, center of 3 there and off of 3. So kind of had to be careful. It was really inconsistent and kind of hard to drive for me. It looked like Brian wouldn't have no problem, but I was fighting the heck out of the thing, and maybe that's why we wasn't able to get to him. But yeah, it was. I had a lot of fun. I love the new where the league's running the dynamic weather with the 20% track state. I think it's awesome and kind of throws a curveball for everyone. So, but yeah, second place, man. We didn't quite get there, but like I said, it's had a blast tonight, and we'll try to get them next time.
Well, yeah, even though you showed up a little bit later than most of these guys, you haven't put your stamp on the top 10 yet. But I think you keep doing this, and you show up next season, you should be able to do that. So keep it up, man, and we'll see you here, and you'll be right in the mix with all these guys as Yazek and Krahula.
Yep, we're gonna keep digging. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, and Sean. That just about wraps up this race.
It does, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you how far Jeff Ward's come. He's only run 8 races. This was his 8th race this evening. Everybody in front of him have run 14 races. He's managed to win 5 of the 8 that he's been in. He now sits just 6 points outside the top 10. Norman Pelletier, the next driver in front of him. Jeff continues to just move up this board every week. He's just, like I said, just now outside the top 10. Lots of drivers really, really close. I mean, he really has a legitimate shot to put himself in the top 5. It's a long season. If he can run the rest of these races and continue his dominance of winning, he has every chance to be up there fighting with the likes of Dalton, Krahula, and Yazik. I like the way this looks here for the rest of the season for Jeff Ward. He's just got to keep digging. A 3rd place finish, not bad. Let's take a look at the points real quick. We do have them. They have been sent in to us here. We'll see where we stand after tonight. Brian Yazik still your leader. James Krahula just 16 points behind. Does lose 2 there because of the win for Yazik. And that's the only way Yazik's going to beat him, is to continue winning. Finishing in front of him, Tyler Dalton in 3rd. Jeff Gow 4th. Now things just behind Gow. Still really, really interesting between Rick Thompson and Tim Johnston, separated by only 6 points. A little bit further back to McQuistion. Didn't have a great run tonight, but Don Runkle's great night moves him to 8th in the points. Runkle up a spot. And Brad Collins sitting there in 9th. He's down a spot this evening. Norm Pelletier stays stable there with 10th, but still 14 points back. And like I mentioned, Jeff Ward sits in 11th. You don't see that on the screen, but he is coming up the board every week. So when we return next week, we'll see what Ward can do. But right now, listen, it's time to put a pretty bow on this and call us tonight. And if you like what you saw out of the Premier Racing League drivers at Pocono tonight, check back in with us at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Thursday night, when the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series will make its visit to Pocono Speedway. Now, the guys will also be on the track Tuesday night in the Xfinity Series. We don't cover them here on GSRC, but there will be a big race going on for sure. Now, we would also like to thank the drivers and the organizers of the Premier Racing League for coming here tonight and putting on a tremendous show. Boy, it was a tremendous show, Dawson. Thanks to the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcasts listed here on your screen. Of course, we always thank the great Erica Colm and the magnificent Casey Lalonde for the wonderful music that they provide us for these broadcasts every time. You can see the screen for how to get a hold of them if you want to check out more of their great work. Thanks to the team today. Dawson, Brock, thank you, buddy. Joe Peak, back there twisting and tweaking the dials. And yes, the much sought after, the exclusive one, Dougie Beard. We love that guy. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, you can find it at our wonderful website, globalsimracingchannel.com, or you can check us out on social media. We're on Twitter at GSR Channel. We're also on Facebook if you just type in Global Sim Racing Channel. And we also have upcoming races on screen there for some of our other series that we've got coming at you. So check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. But until next time, I'm going to ask you one time, race clean, race hard, and then we'll see you on the track.